everyone once again for joining this cybersecurity webinar session. And we'll just kick off the session. So thank you everyone and good day. Thank you for joining this cybersecurity webinar session with Digitank Technologies Limited. My name is Sophia Agbeegbe and I'm a Customer Success Outcome Executive at Digitank Technologies Limited. And I'll be your anchor for this session today. Thank you. Other members of my team that will be presenting in this session today are Glorious Modiquin, Anik Bediako, and Valentine Abayo. As the session goes on, I would be handing over to them. I will be handing over to the next speaker who's going to hand over till the end of the session. Before we go further into the business of today, I would like to quickly give a rundown of the housekeeping rules. Please note that you'll be automatically muted as you join the call. This is to ensure that there's no interruption while the session is going on. Also, kindly note that all questions should be dropped in the chat box and they will be answered by our team that's on standby. Please note that we'll be sharing a survey form during this webinar. This is to help us to know how well we did during this session. We'd also like to know topics that you'd like us to touch on. Thank you. On our next slide, we have the agenda for this session, which is the introduction of my organization, Digitank Technologies Limited. We'll also be looking at industry trends and security, Fortinet security fabric, as well as its products. And lastly, we are going to take questions and answers. I'll quickly do an intro of my organization now. Here at Digitank, we run with the vision of helping customers to achieve their business success. And this organization was established to this organization was established and to meet the needs of customers, and we are specialized in business application and automation. We are specialized in protection assurance, IT risk, and also to ensure that you're compliant in every service that you purchase. And we take pride in our skills that we use technology to deliver to our customers. Next, we're going to look at our success outcome philosophy. Our success outcome philosophy can be likened to a relay race where we run with the customer in every phase of their journey. We don't just stop at a paid purchase where you pay money and then we end there. No, we work with you on every step of the journey and we ensure that you get satisfaction and value for your money. We partner with OEMs like AWS, SAP, Fortinet, Oracle, Barracuda, VMware, amongst others as seen on the screen to deliver the needs of our customers. Digitank has a footprint in African countries like Ghana, Kenya, and of course, Nigeria. And we leverage our local understanding of this environment to deliver a service that is flexible, that is cost effective to our customers, amongst others. Next, we're going to look at our 3 success pillars. This is what our business is structured around. You agree with me that the trend for today's business revolves around digitalization or even renovation of your structure so as to help organizations to stay on top of their game. And here at Digitank, there are tools we use for this. And one of the tools we use is identity and access management. This gives you your users the right access to assess the right, the right things they will need to carry out their daily activities. Also, we leverage Power Automate. This will help to streamline business process and remove human inputs. This way, your staffs can concentrate on what is most important, while some other processes are automated to happen automatically. On our next pillar, we have operational excellence. Operations is essential in every business, and that is why at Digitank we ensure that the people, their data, their business, and even the organization is connected. This is to help provide a seamless and smooth operation, and we also leverage solutions here for customers. We leverage modern ERP solutions. For example, SAP. SAP can be leveraged to integrate your business processes. Your business departments, you can bring them together in a central screen where you can have insights into your departments like your sales, your finance, HR, supply chain. You can have an idea on how everything is going and you can make an informed decision. Also, we leverage identity integration and simplification. This is for confirming the identity of users before granting permission to them to access any sensitive data. And lastly, we'll look at the third pillar, which is we provide solutions that would help you to safeguard and secure your business against malicious threats. So basically what we offer to our customer is rest of mind as a service. And here we'll leverage solutions to help you protect your browser to protect your endpoint. We leverage penetration testing to carry out simulated attacks just to ensure that your users are well prepared for these threats as they come. We also leverage security audits, security intelligence, vulnerability assessment to check that your environment is well secured ahead of threats. Also, advanced threat protection, and lastly, we ensure that your government, your for everything you purchase, you are being compliant. Now, before we go further into the session today, I'd like to quickly speak on what this webinar is going to be about. So this webinar today speaks to cybersecurity. And you would agree with me that cybersecurity is becoming more advanced and even automated. This makes it difficult for organizations to detect and also stop threats that is coming against them. And here to stay ahead of these threats, organizations need to know what is currently trending. You need to know the latest technology. You also need to purchase this technology to strengthen your cybersecurity posture and to ensure that this way you can ensure that your data, your users, and even your organization as a whole is well protected. Now, to take us further into the session, I'm going to hand over to my colleague Glorious, who's going to take us on the next slides. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Glorious Mitikwani. I'll be the first speaker for today. Into today's webinar, we're going to be talking about leveraging the Fortinet solutions for optimal cybersecurity. Now, we're going to look at the challenges and risks within the economy that we face. We're going to look at the Fortinet security fabric, and then we're also going to look at the different product offerings that we have. Now let's get started. So in today's time, as technology is evolving, as the landscape is becoming broadened up, as we're adapting to new technologies, attackers are lurking in the background with new and advanced malware, and we need to be able to counterattack these attackers that are trying to cause harm into the society. Now, one of the challenges that I would say is major that we face is that there are less skilled personnel out there in the economy. There are less automated tools that we can use to remediate our problems in real time. And one other challenge that I would like to speak on is that as much as there's digital acceleration that's happening, there's adoption of the Internet of Things, there's the adoptions of different points that we're using to connect to our network, to our company resources to connect working remotely. And we need to safeguard these edges that we're using. And one other thing that we face is that now, as much as everybody's working from home, as we're working remotely, we are adopting the hybrid environment. And we need to protect these people that are working remotely. We need to protect that infrastructure. We need to protect that home security. The endpoints that you're using need to be safeguarded. They need a safe, secure tunnel that you can use to access the company resources. And one thing that we also face as an organization is that we'd like to move to the cloud. An organization would come to us, be like, I would like to move to the cloud. I need to know the solutions. I need to know the benefits of the cloud. But also one critical question that they ask us is that how safe is my data in the cloud? How safe do I know that the data that is in the cloud is being accessed by just the people that I want it to be? Is it not being accessed by the attackers? We need to be validated, and the data that I'm storing in the cloud is safe. It's very valuable to me, and it needs to be safe, and we can't afford to lose it. So we need to be able to provide solutions that give this reassurance to organization. One other thing that we do is that our applications are being hosted in the cloud. We are moving from on-prem hosted solutions to having them on the cloud. And we need visibility in the cloud. We need ways to see that the traffic that's coming into my cloud infrastructure is safe. The traffic that is going in, I need to have a track of what's going on. I need an analysis. I need reports to see what's happening. And one other thing is that as an organization, I do not like to change, or I may not wish to change my current infrastructure. I need solutions that are going to be able to integrate with my current infrastructure without me having to spend more money or spend more resources. So we need easy integratable solutions. We need solutions that are going to give us visibility. We need solutions that are going to be automated so that you reduce the manual work. So that is why today we are bringing to you the Fortinet Security Fabric. So now this is an architecture that is meant to provide you security capabilities. It is meant to help you mitigate any and all of your potential attack vectors within your organization. So with the Fortinet Security Fabric, we have solutions that give you broad visibilities, solutions that are going to analyze and give you reports of different kind of data that you would like to view. We have automatable solutions for your day-to-day security operations. We also have solutions that are going to integrate properly and seamlessly with your current infrastructure. Now, the Fortinet Security Fabric also has zero trust network capabilities, which means it's going to be able to secure your endpoints. It's going to give you control over the network access. It's going to give your organization the assurance that only trusted and validated users and devices are accessing the corporate data. Please, let's be reminded to drop our questions in the chat. We have experts standing by to answer all your questions. Thank you. Now, as I was saying, we have solutions that are going to meet your cloud needs, solutions that are going to protect your cloud infrastructure, that are going to protect your valuable data that you wish to store and keep on the cloud. We're going to give you visibilities. We're going to give you secure ways that you can use to secure your data that's on the cloud. We also have security-driven networking solutions, which we use to integrate your organization's network infrastructure and security architecture with our solutions without you having to worry to change your infrastructure wiring. And then that way you reduce your costs, and then you can use your costs to optimize or effectively increase the security on other points that you need. Now, quickly, we're going to do a quick poll. Please, everybody, let's participate in the poll. Thank you. So the poll now is going to ask us, it's going to be shown on your window. And please, let's drop our answers. Thank you. So the poll says, how familiar are you with the various Fortinet solutions? Are you guys familiar? Are you people, members on the webinar, familiar with the solutions that we have of the product offer of the Fortinet product? Do you maybe somehow familiar with the product offerings, or are you very much familiar? Just drop your answers, please. After dropping your answers, you can close the poll and then we can move on. Thank you. So whether we do know the product offerings for the Fortinet or we do not know, it's okay. We will take you through the different Fortinet product offerings and see what you can use to utilize within your organization. Now, the Fortinet product portfolio offers a different range of products that you can use. We aim to protect your workloads across all your digital transformation. Now, some of the products that I can mention here on the Fortinet product offering include the FortiAnalyzer. Now, with the FortiAnalyzer, there's a very powerful analytic tool that you can use for log management. It focuses on monitoring your network performance. It focuses on monitoring the performance of your network, like I said. You also have the FortiEDR, which is an endpoint solution. It's designed to secure your endpoints to detect advanced threats. It's meant to stop breaches and ransomware and damage in real time, so that it allows you as an organization so that you can remediate your incidents. You also have the FortiGate that you can leverage, which is meant to offer protection and automated management for consistent enforcement and visibility across your hybrid infrastructure. And then one thing that you can also utilize as an organization, if you have an email hosted application, whether it be Microsoft 365 or an in-house solution, you can leverage the FortiMail, which is going to help your organization to prevent, to detect, and respond your email-based threats. It's going to include threats like spam. It's going to reduce the spam attacks that are coming. It's going to help you stop your phishing attacks, even malware like ransomware and zero-day threats. Now, with all these Fortinet products that I have mentioned, they're all very broad, and they're very broad from my point of presentation. That's why my next speaker is going to give you a very detailed overview of the products so that you can see if you would like to utilize these products for your offerings. The next speaker is going to talk on the FortiEDR and the FortiAnalyzer. I'll be handing over to Anik. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. So in this part of the presentation, we would look at FortiEDR and how to use this solution to secure your endpoint devices. We are also going to look at some of the key challenges that most organizations are facing today when it comes to their endpoints and how FortiEDR can be used to solve these challenges. So we all know that most organizations have adapted their system of working remotely, where employees are now working from home in any part of the world. So as an IT administrator, there's always that concern about your remote workers. So how are you sure that your employees are not using their work devices to access a malicious site? How are you sure that your employees are not using their personal devices to access sensitive information or your company's information? So you have no visibility of all these activities, and that puts your organization at a higher risk. So another challenge to look at is the fact that you are not even sure if these remote workers have successfully updated their devices to the latest version or not. So you are not sure if they've carried out any software patches that are needed. And you know that not carrying out these updates can leave your endpoint devices very vulnerable, and attackers can leverage on these vulnerabilities to attack you. And therefore, there's the need to have a solution in place that can either alert your employees to carry out these updates, or a solution that can do that for you automatically. Another challenge is the fact that most organizations do not even have control over what their users are accessing. So whether what they're accessing is a malicious website or not, they have no control over that. And whether what applications they are accessing, they are permitted to do that or not. And then you know that it's these same endpoint devices that these employees use to send out emails and also used to send sensitive data. And so again, there's the need to have a solution in place that checks all of that to make sure that what users are accessing is not malicious, or set policies that can restrict users from accessing certain kinds of applications on the internet. So another challenge is the fact that in some organizations, there are no systems in place to ensure compliance, which makes it very difficult for these organizations to keep up with the standard regulatory laws and also the ones that keep changing. So another challenge, or one thing that is also top of mind to most organizations, is data and how they can keep it protected. And attackers have realized that endpoint devices or endpoint users are usually one of the easy ways they can use to gain access to an organization's network. And so therefore, it's very important to have a solution in place, an endpoint solution in place to protect your data, to protect your users, and also to prevent attackers from getting access to data in your environment. Another problem is the fact that most people are not able to secure their USB ports, and then not securing these USB ports can also lead to people exploiting these ports and introducing malware into your environment. You can also have the transfer of sensitive data. So it is very important to make sure that all your USB ports on these endpoint devices are locked. So it's one of the reasons why you need an endpoint security solution that can help you lock these USB ports, so that people will not exploit these ports and introduce any kind of malware into your environment. So we are here today to take you through an endpoint security solution that can help you address some of these challenges and also provide you with a good security posture in your environment. So I bring to you FortiEDR, Forti Endpoint Detection and Response. So for FortiEDR, it is an advanced automated endpoint protection. Yes, that has capabilities of detecting threats, and then it can also respond to them as well. So for the features of FortiEDR, it has capabilities to detect all malware and advanced threats in real time. It also has pre-infection and post-infection features. And so for the pre-infection feature, it is able to block all threats before they even get access to your environment to cause harm to your devices. And for the post-infection feature, in the event of any attack, so let's say a ransomware attack or a malware attack or any suspicious activity on your endpoint device, what the EDR does is that it blocks all communications from that particular device. It would also block access to all the data and in the file system on that particular device. And then it would also prevent the transfer of data. So if the threat is for example, a ransomware attack, it would also prevent your data from getting encrypted. And for FortiEDR, it has automated features that can respond to and then remediate these threats as well. So one feature of the FortiEDR is that it's constantly doing a cleanup of your entire endpoint device to make sure that they are free from threats. And then even if there's an attack, they are able to roll back all the changes that were made due to that particular attack or due to that particular malicious threats. And then for management, it is very easy to manage these endpoint devices because you have a single management console that gives you visibility of all your endpoint devices. So it monitors all the activities of your endpoints, what applications your endpoint devices are accessing, and then it can even tell you the time it's doing so. And for flexibility and scale, it has a flexible deployment option. So you can deploy FortiEDR in the cloud. You can have an on-premises deployment. And then there's also an option where you can go in for the hybrid deployment. And then it is also compatible with different types of operating systems. So you can use it on your Mac devices, you can use it on your Windows devices and Linux operating systems as well. And for compliance, we made mention of one of the challenges that most organizations are facing is the fact that they are not able to keep up with compliance. So for FortiEDR, when it comes to compliance, FortiEDR is compliant with PCI, is compliant with HIPAA and then GDPR. So you wouldn't even have to worry about compliance when it comes to integrating FortiEDR in your environment. So we are going to look at the various use cases for FortiEDR. So for organizations looking to have a real-time breach protection in your IT environment, FortiEDR is a solution for you. So for FortiEDR, just as I said earlier, in the event of any security breach or in the event of any security attack, for example, with the malware attacks and then the ransomware attack or any advanced threats or any advanced attack, the EDR is able to detect these threats. It is able to diffuse these threats, and it does so in real time. So it prevents your data from getting stolen, prevents your data from getting transferred, and then it does a thorough cleanup of your endpoint devices to make sure that they are safe to use. And then, just as I said, it is able to roll back all malicious changes that were made by the attack. So for organizations looking to reduce the attack surface on their endpoint devices, FortiEDR can be used to protect your endpoints. So for FortiEDR, it is able to identify and control all rogue devices. So this means that the EDR is able to identify all devices that are not protected or managed in your organization. And then it is also constantly running assessments on your endpoint devices to identify any vulnerabilities. And once it identifies the vulnerabilities, it doesn't end there. It has automation capabilities that can respond to these threats. FortiEDR can also be used to control your user access. So it controls the kind of applications your users can access, and then it also tracks all the applications that these users are accessing. And then you can also set policies to restrict users on accessing a certain kind of website or applications in your organizations. And all these measures can help to reduce the attack surface in your environment. Right. So if you are looking to optimize incident response, if you are looking to optimize the way your organizations respond to incidents, then FortiEDR is for you. FortiEDR has automation capabilities. So they have automation. They have what we call the automation playbooks that can be customized to suit your business needs. And then you can set your EDR to respond to incidents automatically. And this also can help you and prevent your IT team from getting overwhelmed by too many attacks. And then it also helps your organizations focus more on your business needs. Right. And for security operations, right, people looking to have a good security operational technology, FortiEDR can help with your endpoint solution. So it ensures high availability, which means that even in the event of any attack, right, your devices will still remain online. Your users will still be able to use their devices to carry out their normal day-to-day activities. And one good thing about the FortiEDR is that when the devices are offline, you are still protected. So that brings us to the comparison between a normal SOC without automation, or a normal SOC with less automation capabilities, and then FortiEDR, which has advanced automation capabilities. So you can see from the screen that a standard security process should be able to do constant monitoring. It should be able to detect threats. You should be able to have certain solutions in place to enrich your security posture. So a normal SOC should also have solutions that can block threats and also conduct continuous assessments. And then it should be able to remediate threats. So from the screen, we can see that for the first generation EDR, it takes a longer time to detect threats, and then it has limited functionalities, and so it's not able to carry out some of the activities that the FortiEDR can do. We have for Security Operations Center, with manual efforts, that's more of human intervention. You realize that it takes a very long time for these security, IT security employees to detect a threat. It can even take days. And then by the time these threats are detected, it has already caused harm in your environment. So comparing that to FortiEDR, FortiEDR has advanced features, and then it also has automated features, which is able to detect these threats, and it does so in real time. It does the continuous 24/7 monitoring. It also does the constant assessments to identify vulnerabilities in your environment. And then with the automation features, you are able to set playbooks to automatically respond to these threats as well. And then looking at another comparison between FortiEDR and the other endpoint solutions like SentinelOne, like Symantec, CrowdStrike, and then Carbon Black. The summary of this table is the fact that most of these endpoint solutions have limited functionalities as compared to FortiEDR. So they do not have automation capabilities, and therefore it requires more of human intervention. So in conclusion, we can see that FortiEDR is more powerful when it comes to advanced features, and then when it comes to endpoint protection. So for the next security solution, we are going to look at the FortiAnalyzer, which can help you simplify your SOC automation. But before that, let's take a look at some surveys that were conducted to prove that most organizations are still struggling when it comes to security operations, right? So the first survey was conducted by Gartner in 2021 that talks about policy misconfigurations being the cause of firewall breaches. And the other was done by FortiGuard Labs in 2022 that talks about how much money on an average some organizations have spent on breaches or attacks. And then we can see that it is even more than what they would have spent to deploy any security solutions in their environments. So the other one was also conducted in 2022 that talks about how IT security employees are impacted by their work. So they are trying to manage threats every day in their environment, and they are already overwhelmed by this volume of threats. Right. And then the fourth one was also conducted by ESG and ISSA in 2021 that talks about how there's a shortage in cybersecurity skills. And because of that, the workloads for existing staff has increased, and then it has led to employee burning out. So we can see that with all of these challenges, we realize that these are challenges that organizations are still facing today. And so Fortinet has a number of security solutions that can help organizations with all their security needs and also solve these challenges as well. So we are going to take a quick poll, and And then this poll will let us know how your organization is doing today. So in the poll, which of the following would you say are your organization's biggest challenges regarding threat detection and response? So we have too many alerts. We have your organization having a lot of manual security process. You have your organization having the lack of lack of visibility on your entire network. And then you having difficulty in managing incidents. So looking at some of these answers or some of the stuff that we've all pointed out, we realize that there's a Fortinet security product or a solution called the Forti Analyzer that can help you manage all your alerts. It can help you respond to some of these alerts automatically. Hence, it helps to reduce the burden on your IT security team. So it can also automate your security processes. It gives you an entire visibility on your environment, and then it can also help you manage all your security and all your security threats. Right. So for Forti Analyzer, it is a powerful tool when it comes to log management, when it comes to analytics, when it comes to automation. So it simplifies all your security operations by managing them and automating them, and it does so in a management console. So looking at the attack chain, realize that an attacker will not even be able to get past the delivery stage if there's a Forti Analyzer integrated in any of your security solutions. So for Forti Analyzer, it has real-time detection as well. It has real-time detection features, and then it can detect threats very easy. And so once you integrate Forti Analyzer with the Fortinet Security Fabric, which we've been talking about, that is you integrating it with any of the security products, like the FortiGate Firewall, like the FortiMail, like the Forti Sandbox, and then the FortiWeb. You can have a deeper visibility and insights on your network. You are able to see the kind of threats or the kind of activities that your users are engaging in, and then you are able to tell where exactly your attention is needed. Right. And one good thing about the Forti Analyzer is the fact that it can be integrated with third-party security solutions. So it also has analytic capabilities that runs constant assessments. It runs constant analysis of all the activities on your network, and then it's able to generate reports that can be understood by everybody. So once you integrate Forti Analyzer with your security solution, you are rest assured that you have optimized all your security operations. You will be able to automate some of your processes. You will be able to detect threats faster, and then you will be able to attend to alerts very fast. And then it can also help to reduce the burden on your IT security team. So Valentine is going to take us through the FortiGate Firewall and then the Forti email and how you can use that to reduce the attack surface and also to increase your security posture. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining and welcome again to this session. So I'll be taking you through the FortiGate Firewall, the FortiMail, and we will also just have an overview of other security products in the Fortinet Security Fabric. So let's talk about the FortiGate Firewall. So the FortiGate is a next generation firewall that protects network assets in the edge, at the core, and in the segments of the network. And the FortiGate is mainly configured at the root of the networks. FortiGate can be deployed on premises through a hardware appliance, or it can be deployed in the cloud through a virtual appliance. And being a network level security device, it provides organizations supreme protection against both known and unknown web-based network threats. FortiGate can be integrated with FortiAnalyzer, FortiSandbox, FortiNAC, and other security solutions across the Fortinet security fabric in order to provide additional threat intelligence to increase security visibility and coverage. So FortiGate can be deployed for various use cases. For instance, it can be deployed in the cloud to secure your data and assets in the cloud environment. So FortiGate provides a wide range of features and benefits when deployed in the cloud, including advanced security capabilities such as intrusion prevention, malware protection, scalability to meet the growing demands. It also provides high availability and load balancing. It also has failover support. And it also comes with a centralized management through a web-based interface. And it also is highly integrated with popular cloud providers such as AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, and the likes. So these features enable organizations to secure and optimize their cloud infrastructures while also providing flexibility and scalability to meet the needs of their growing business. The FortiGate firewall can be deployed on premises to offer network level security for your main offices and your branch locations as well. There are tailored models for institutions such as schools, data centers, and we even have models to protect the local area networks that you may have at your various homes. The FortiGate firewall can provide network level security enforced with policies and zero trust network access controls for roaming users and those who are connecting and working remotely. And the FortiGate firewall can also be deployed to offer security on the segmented sections of your network. For instance, the application segment of your network where you have your web servers and databases. And it can also protect your users and endpoint segment of the network as well. So let's talk about the features of the FortiGate firewall. So being a next generation firewall, it comes with advanced features which are designed to offer optimal security for your enterprise networks and your organizational environment. So it offers intrusion prevention. So unlike the stateful firewalls, which perform filtering only based on IP addresses and ports, the FortiGate firewall can scan the application layer traffic using advanced IPS engines for any signs of malicious attack. The firewall also provides URL filtering, and with this feature, it is able to offer web protection, which restricts access to well-known and unknown malicious websites. And it is able to offer web control, which restricts access to websites that are deemed unproductive and websites that may contain sensitive contents. The firewall also offers application control, so it is able to restrict access to potentially unwanted applications and applications that are rather deemed malicious. The firewall also offers SSL inspection. It is able to decrypt and scan the encrypted traffic for any signs of protocol violation attacks. The firewall can also be integrated with the FortiSandbox and powered by the artificial intelligence and machine learning. The sandbox offers a virtualized environment where executable files or any suspicious links or URLs can be first examined for malicious acts or contents before being redirected back to your production environment or network. So with this provision, the FortiGate firewall is able to offer advanced persistent threat protection and machine learning-based threat detection. The firewall also comes with advanced antivirus engines, so it is able to scan for malware on files and other contents that are sent over your network. The FortiGate also comes with a pre-configured free of charge SD-WAN technology, which offers application visibility, one path control, bandwidth management, and IPsec VPN. So generally, the firewall also offers unified threat management by combining, multiple security technologies like the ones you've mentioned, the intrusion prevention, antivirus, SSL inspection, web filtering, and all that into a single platform. And this makes it easy to manage and deploy. So these are just the major features that come with the FortiGate firewall. So next, before we proceed, I know some of you might be asking themselves how the FortiGate firewall is different or better than other next generation firewall out there in the market. So Fortinet, as an umbrella, has been the driving force in the evolution of cybersecurity for over 20 years now. And central to that is the FortiGate firewall, which is the industry's most deployed, patented, and validated firewall. So the FortiGate firewall has some key features that set it apart from other next generation firewall in the market. So FortiGate delivers one of the top secure SD-WAN solutions on the market. And on this note, in addition to the suite of market-leading security solutions that are built into the FortiGate firewall, it also delivers one of the market's top-rated secure SD-WAN solutions at exactly or at totally no extra cost. So Fortinet Secure SD-WAN is the only solution to ensure optimal user experience with maximum threat protection at any scale. And that's due to the FortiGate patented security processing unit architecture, which extends across the entire Fortinet security fabric. And it ensures the highest price performance in the industry, enabling superior security and inspection services for advanced traffic management. Another key feature is that FortiGate includes powerful LAN edge controller. So in addition to its advanced WAN capabilities, the FortiGate firewall includes a fully functional set of LAN controls. So for example, the FortiGate firewall can act as the wireless controller for the 40 access point Wi-Fi access with all the features you'd expect from a wireless controller. Another unique feature is that FortiGate firewall enables the industry's only universal zero trust network access. And on this note, the FortiGate firewall is currently the only firewall product to natively integrate the zero trust network access policy enforcement point, because it can be deployed anywhere, as you have already noticed, in on-premises or in the cloud. So FortiGate firewall can establish universal application access enforcement protected by the encrypted tunnels for consistent user experience, which is actually now very critical for securing today's hybrid workforce. So lastly, FortiGate is at the center of NOC and SOC integration in the Fortinet security fabric as a whole. So currently, one of the biggest challenges facing the NOC and SOC system is addressing the convergence of networking and security. So the FortiGate security fabric is the first platform designed specifically to enable this convergence. And it is a unique design since all systems are built on the same FortiOS operating system. So with the FortiGate firewall at the core and as the foundation, it enables centralized management. Hence, it removes the traditional complexity of managing each architecture individually, especially at a scale across a huge dispersed network. So we can also see in the chart, the FortiGate firewall was the leading in the 2022 Gartner Magic Quadrant for the network firewalls for the 13th time. So the next product that I would like us to go through is the FortiMail. But before we talk about FortiMail, I would like to bring to your attention and stress why it is important to ensure that there is optimal email security in your organizational environment. So from the visuals on your screen, we can see that 82% of breaches that occurred last year involved social engineering attacks, according to the data breach investigation reports. So social engineering are actions that are geared towards taking advantage of the user behavior. And these social engineering attacks are split between phishing attacks, pre-texting attacks, and business email compromises attacks. And the building blocks that the cyber criminals use to send attacks or to perform these social engineering acts can be content-based. For example, a file that when opened can trigger the execution of a malicious script to run and to exploit vulnerabilities in the network. It can also be attachment-based. For example, a malware sent as an attachment that contains things like spywares, keyloggers, and so on. The building block can also be in form of a URL, such as a malicious link in emails. So when these links are clicked, it can redirect you or a user to a malicious website. So based on this report, attackers were able to obtain credentials, which is actually at the top of the list. They were also able to obtain personal information and other information as illustrated on the visuals. So let's talk about the features of the Fortinet that makes it the ideal email security solution. So Fortimail provides advanced protection against the full spectrum of email-borne threats. And it supports a wide range of deployment options. So it can be deployed whether on premises, in the cloud, or in a hybrid setup. So what you see on the right side of the screen are all the integrated capabilities that the Fortimail uses to deliver email security performance that your organization might be in need of. So Fortimail protects against these social engineering attacks through various methods, including the use of anti-spam filters to detect and block spam and phishing emails. It can scan URLs against a blacklist of known malicious websites. It also analyzes the content of emails to identify potential phishing attempts and provides user education through warning messages. Fortimail is also able to validate the DKIM records. DKIM record is a special formatted DNS text record that stores the public key that the receiving mail servers will use to verify an email signature. So it is able to validate these DKIM records to verify the authenticity of incoming emails. So by using these features, Fortimail provides a comprehensive email security solution that helps organizations to reduce risk of falling victims to phishing attacks and other email-borne threats. Another thing is that Fortimail is seamlessly integrated into the security fabric. Hence, it is able to utilize critical capabilities such as the Forti Sandbox, which we already discussed earlier. It is also able to utilize the Forti Isolator. So the Forti Isolator, in this case, in any case a device is compromised, it is immediately isolated from the network to prevent attackers from using the device as a pivot point to compromise other devices in the network. It is also able to integrate with Forti EDR and Forti XDR that my colleague Anik already talked about. So I would like us to have a quick poll. Please submit your responses within the shortest time possible and close the polling window before we proceed. So the question is, what are the major building blocks for social engineering attacks? So the first choice is URL links that redirect to a malicious website. The second choice is file attachments that when opened triggers the execution of a malicious code. The third choice is email that contains advertisement campaigns. Last but not least, we have emails that contain keylogger. And lastly, the last option is all of the above. All right, so Fortimail supports a wide range of deployment models according that might be able to meet the needs of the organization. So organizations that prefer to have full control over their email infrastructures and monitoring can adopt either the virtual machines or the physical appliances, allowing them to deploy powerful, highly scalable email security. So for organizations that do not want to manage infrastructures and want to pay based on their usage, they can opt for Fortinet Cloud, which is a SaaS offering. And there are typically 4 operation modes for the Fortimail. So we have the gateway mode, we have the Microsoft 365 API clawback, we have transparent mode, and we have the server mode. So all deployment options support all these operation modes except Fortimail Cloud, which does not support the transparent mode. So for ease in finding the right solution that best suits your organization's email security needs, Fortimail offers various bundles for Fortimail virtual machines and appliances. So there is the base bundle. We also have the Enterprise Advanced Threat Protection bundle. And we also have Enterprise Advanced Threat Protection with Microsoft 365 API support bundle. So the key difference between the base and the more advanced bundles includes content disarm and reconstruction. We also have URL click protection. We have impersonation analysis features, and we have sandboxing, majorly for detonation of suspicious files and links. So for Fortimail Cloud, we have similar bundles through the Cloud Gateway Deployment Mode, the Cloud Gateway Premium, and the Cloud Gateway Premium mode for Microsoft 365 API support. So the biggest distinction between outsourcing, that is the SaaS of Fortimail Cloud versus the self-managing option, is that the data loss prevention and identity-based encryption features are only available in the premium bundle for Fortimail Cloud, but they are just part of the base bundle for the appliances and the virtual machines. So why should you consider Fortimail for your email security? So Fortimail is considered to be one of the top tier security solutions when it comes to delivering email security, because it provides advanced integrated capabilities to protect against spam, malware, ransomware, impersonation attacks, and also the business email compromises attacks. And it also supports a wide range of deployment options, whether in the cloud or on premises or in a hybrid setup. Fortimail is also regularly tested with independent third-party testers to validate Fortimail's efficacy against threats, and it has consistently earned high marks compared to its competitors. Fortimail is also integrated into the security fabric to uncover the full life cycle and share the indicators of compromises and intelligence across your entire security infrastructure. Lastly, Fortimail is powered with the intelligence from FortiGuard Labs, which has visibility into telemetry and the threat landscape at large, so as to provide superior security outcomes. All right, so other security features offered by the Fortinet security fabric include Fortinac. So it is able to monitor and manage your network traffic. It can impose policies and access control metrics to grant access to your network. And it also ensures role-based access to resources, and it is also able to log all network traffic activities. We also have the FortiWeb, which acts as a web application firewall, or rather a reverse proxy, which filters and authenticates traffic directed to your web servers to prevent unauthorized attacks and generally to protect against web server attacks. We have FortiSIM, which is the Security Identity and Event Management System. It is pretty much the same as the FortiAnalyzer, as it is able to correlate the security information and event data across the entire Fortinet security fabric in order to identify and respond to any detected exploit points. We also have FortiSOAR, which is the Security Orchestration and Automated Response system. And it works hand in hand with FortiSIM. And it enables orchestration and automated response to identified threats in real time. Lastly, we have the FortiAP, which can be integrated with the FortiGate firewall, the FortiNAC, FortiAnalyzer, and other security solutions in the Fortinet security fabric in order to offer security and management of your wireless networks. So the big question is, why should you consider Fortinet as your ultimate cybersecurity product? So Fortinet is one of the best cybersecurity solution currently in the market. And with all the features that we have discussed, it has managed to climb the charts against other cybersecurity offerings in the market, such as Cisco and SonicWall. And this is according to Gartner report, which is an authorized reviewer of cybersecurity products. So I would like to end my presentation at that point, and I would like to hand over to Sophia. Thank you.
Hello. Apologies for that. I didn't know I was muted. Thank you very much, Valentine. Thank you, everyone that presented, and thank you all for staying with us all through the webinar. I would like to say that this session has been eventful, as I've learned quite a lot that Fortinet has quite a number of offerings in terms of security. For one, there's FortiGate for your there's FortiGate firewall, there's FortiEDR for your endpoints, there's FortiMail to protect your users, there's FortiAnalyzer to gain insights, amongst others that was discussed here. Don't forget that if you have questions, we would advise that you drop them in the chat window so that our team that's on standby would answer these questions. In our quest to give value to our customers and prospects here on the call to help you to fast track your goals for career growth, we are introducing Project Alpha. Project Alpha is our own way of giving back to our customers, and we'll be giving out some of our services for free. For those that are interested, we'll be giving out health checks on your existing firewall to see how it is doing, if it is configured right. We'll also be giving vulnerability assessments. This is to check for threats in your environment to see if you're compliant. And lastly, we'll be giving NSC 1, 2, and 3 training and voucher to those that are interested. And on our next slide, we have the ways that you can engage us. First, you can schedule a discovery call or a session via our website. You can also book a free demo session on any of the solutions that we've talked about so far. You can also do this via our website. You can visit our website to know more about us. And lastly, you can follow us on our LinkedIn page to see our upcoming webinars, to see upcoming events that we'll be arranging for you. And also, you can contact us, and you can follow us on our social media platforms like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn too. And you can reach us via our website. On the chat window earlier, I dropped the links to the various social media platforms I had mentioned so that you can reach us and if you have inquiries regarding what we've said so far. And also, please don't forget that the link to this recording will be shared with you upon request. If you ask for the link, we would definitely share it with you via mail. You can ask that in the chat window now so that we can compile our lists. Thank you. So this brings us to the end of the webinar. We would also be sharing survey form in the chat window. We would like you to know how we did in this webinar, and we also like to know if there are subsequent questions you would like us to touch on. Now we'll take our questions and answer. Please, if you have questions, you can drop them in the chat window. Like I mentioned earlier, we have a team on standby to answer these questions. Thank you. Oh, great. So I can see we have a question in the chat window. I will just quickly read out the question. Thank you for the webinar. Looks like Fortinet has so much, but in silos, is there no integrated platform? So one of my team members here will take the question. Thank you.
Okay, so hello everyone. Yes, Fortinet security has a lot of Fortinet products, and that is why we spoke about the Fortinet security fabric. So that integrates all these products together to give you a single management console where you are able to manage these products in one management console. So for the Fortinet security fabric, it gives you a single pane of glass where you are able to have visibility of what's going on your endpoints, what's going on your network, what's going on your cloud environment, and then what's going on your other security environments. So with your question, I would say that the Fortinet Security Fabric gives you that integrated platform where you can manage these solutions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Anik. Oluwaseyi Bolariwa, please confirm that our question was answered correctly, or if we're able to answer your question. A thumbs up will do. Oh, okay, great. Thank you once again, everyone, for attending this session. You can still drop your questions with us, and please follow us on our social media platforms, where you can also reach out to us and drop your questions. We would also like to engage with you on further topics that we'll look at in upcoming webinars. Thank you once again, everyone, for your time, and do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.